Hare Krishna.
Mataji, still there are not all the people for chanting.
Okay, no problem. No problem. I think we can double the numbers.
1 minute, I'll just tell you which chapters are vacant. Yes, Mataji, the chapter 6, 7, 13, 14 and 17 are remaining. And till now, Sapna Mataji, Prasid Prabhuji, Sai Gitika Mataji, then Rachayita Mataji, Shramita Mataji, Jignasa Mataji, Janvi Mataji, Basanti Mataji, and Anusha Mataji have given their names.
Okay.
15th and 18th chapter. Jignasa Mataji is in the 9th and 18th chapter.
Okay.
Sapna Mataji is taking the first chapter. Then
Mm-hmm.
Prasid Prabhuji is taking the first half of the second chapter.
Okay.
Mataji is taking 4th and 5th chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Anusha Mataji is taking the 12th and the 16th chapter.
Okay.
So
So what are left?
already double.
What are left?
The 6, 7, 13, 14 and 17 are left.
6, 7.
13, 14 and 17.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. We can give 13th chapter to Shramita Mataji. She did it last time.
I think if somebody is good at recitation and they are willing to do for one extra chapter, we can always engage them.
So now 6, 7, 15th and 17th chapter are left.
6, 7 and 17 chapter are there. Only 3 are left, no? Anybody
14
willing?
also.
14 also. Anybody willing to? I think if one person is doing 2 chapters, it is fine, I think, no?
Yeah.
Mataji, I have taken half chapter of second.
Ji, are you willing to do any other chapter also? Like 6th, 7th are remaining.
I can take half of the chapter.
No, Prabhuji, they are short chapters. We don't divide it. You can take the 14th chapter as well. It's a short chapter.
No, I'll go on with second chapter. It's better.
Yeah, I have written in the second chapter, first half.
Yeah.
Mataji, I'm doing quick chapters, 4th and 5th, no?
3rd and 4th.
Yes,
Vaishnavi
3rd and 4th.
Mataji,
Okay.
Yes.
like, can you just share the Excel sheet which you shared last class, like on the screen?
Yeah, sure. Mataji, can you make me the co-host?
Yeah, I'll make you.
Okay, Mataji. Yeah, is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible, Mataji.
Yeah. Yeah, you can take the screenshot of this.
Yeah, Mataji. I took.
Okay. Anyone is willing to join? So should I stop this screen share?
You update it, no? If anybody is willing to take an extra this thing.
Mataji, the problem is that here there are only 6 people. So if there are more people, if they are willing to do, they can directly see it. But only 6 people joined, right, Mataji?
Yeah, I think we will, what do you say? We'll wait for at the end of class.
Mataji, like just 2 days are left, right, Mataji?
Aman Prabhuji, you did not give your name?
Yes, Mataji, when is the recitation?
On 14th, in the evening 7 to 10.
Okay, I can do one chapter.
Which chapter do you want? Just a minute. I'll share the screen. Yeah, there are the remaining 6, 7, then 14 and 17. You can take any of them.
Can I do the 14th?
Yeah, sure.
Mataji, when will be showing the PPT, Mataji?
Sapna, Prasidhan, Vaishnavi, Sai Gitika, Rachayita. 6th, 7th is left and 6. Okay.
17
7th
is
and
left.
17th are left, Mataji.
6, 7, and 17th are left. No, okay, I'll arrange.
Okay. Okay, Mataji.
Have a few backup students, who can recite. Okay,
Yeah.
fine then.
Okay, I'll stop the
You
screen
said that you
share.
were going to Vrindavan Yatra.
Yes. Next weekend. Not next weekend. I think on 21st we are leaving, and I'll be back on. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
Mataji.
Mataji.
21st is Monday.
Yes, Mataji.
21st is Monday. Till?
Yes. Monday I'm
For a
starting
week.
from Hyderabad to Delhi, from day to Vrindavan. So I'm going along with my mom and my daughter. And 26th I'm back by afternoon. So I'll update you 26th evening class. Okay.
Yeah, Mataji.
If
Do
it's
share the
not
pictures
possible,
also.
Mataji, we can skip the class, because if it's not possible for you to come by evening.
No, I'll come by afternoon. No, even if I take rest, I'll be okay by evening.
Mataji,
It's a
do share the
long
pictures,
journey
okay?
till Delhi, then again to Vrindavan.
I'm used to traveling. No worries. Yes, Vaishnavi, you were saying something?
Mataji, I was saying that do click the pictures and share it in the group.
Yeah,
Of
that
the
I'll be updating, the moment I'll enter Vrindavan. So I'll be updating in the, what do you say, the status. Okay.
Okay.
So last time also in the Mayapur trip, I did the same thing.
Oh,
So I have written an article also of 50 pages. So this time also I'm planning to write down something. Let's see how does it work.
Mataji,
yeah.
every time I try to write a story, something or the other thing gets wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
I did try to write a
I tried
like,
to write about the surroundings in Bangalore. I tried to write about Bangalore, but something or the other thing I mess up in middle.
No. See, actually what I do is I'll go to the Google voice typing and I just tell whatever I feel like. So automatically the document is ready. Then when I have a time, I'll do correction. If you start sitting
okay.
writing, you will be never able to complete anything.
No,
Okay.
Mataji, not about that. See, if I write a sentence that the food is good in this place, again, I don't know what do I write next. I'll be like in some kind of dilemma. What should I write next about this place?
Even I am in dilemma to write my story further. It's a fiction story for kids. I have written 11 chapters till now, but
No,
I don't know what
whatever
to
thought
write.
process comes in your mind, you should go to the Google voice typing and you should start dictating it. Afterwards, sit for one day and you look back what all you have written. Then you will find out the missing this thing and all. That or chronological order is a very much important when you're writing down, narrating anything. Yeah. So not to miss on the content. Whenever you get that thought process, you should if you're not in a position to sit and do the Google voice typing, then you should record the audio message and you have to put it in your. Actually, ideally, when I have started writing my book, I was told first and foremost thing is I have to make a group, WhatsApp group, in which I will be there. One of the family member or anybody whom you are close, you can add them. Later, you can delete them. So at the end in the WhatsApp group, only you alone will be there. Okay. Anything important, if you wanted to forward or you wanted to message it, or anything important you wanted to store, no? I store in that
Okay.
WhatsApp group called My Book. Okay. So
Okay.
all memories will be there in that. So I start circulating it, or when I get time, I go back and I just read it. Anything important?
I use the Microsoft Notes.
Yeah.
Mataji, I use that. I use first. Whatever I want to write, I'll write the keywords for it first. Then when I get time, I'll frame the sentence and do it.
Okay. Chalo, we'll start with today's class. Somebody
Mataji,
start
you
with.
said that there'll be some PPT for this
Yes,
class.
yes. Wait. Come on, we'll start with the pranam mantra. Vaishnav is out of station.
Yeah,
And
I'll do
Narayan
that,
and
Mataji.
Haripad, they are having exams. Yeah,
Okay.
please.
I'll do the pranam mantras.
Yeah.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, shall we start today's class?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, welcome to one and all for this level 3 course. First of all, congratulations for getting promoted to level 3.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, you all will be now, we all will be reading the Nectar of Instruction, followed by a short presentation by you people in Bhagwat Gita. Okay. Yes. Come on. We have around 11 texts in this Nectar of Instruction. Today we are going to start with the first one. Somebody please volunteer to read this.
Wanted to know which meter is used in the shloka.
I exactly don't know. I exactly don't know.
Tried it in the study group. We are on the sixth text of this.
I think
And
we
we don't know
can
the
read
meter.
it like a normal 8-meter rule. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jifa vegam udaro pasta vegam etam vegam dhiraha sarvam apimam prithvim sa sisyat.
Okay, Mataji. Shall I?
Yes.
Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jivha vegam udaropastha vegam etan vegan yo vishtadhiram sarvan apimam prithivim sasisyet. Translation: a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demand, the actions of anger, and the urge of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Purport: in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 1, verse 9 and 10, Parikshit Maharaj placed a number of intelligent questions before Sukadeva Goswami. One of these questions was, why do people undergo atonement if they cannot control their senses? For instance, a thief may know perfectly well that he may be arrested for his stealing, and he may actually even see a thief arrested by the police. Yet he continues to steal. Experience is gathered by hearing and seeing. One who is less intelligent gathers experience by seeing, and one who is more intelligent gathers experience by hearing. When an intelligent person hears from the law books and the Shastras or scriptures that stealing is not good, and hears that a thief is punished when arrested, he refrains from theft. A less intelligent person may first have to be arrested and then punished for stealing to learn to stop stealing. However, a rascal, a foolish man, may have the experience of both hearing and seeing and may even be punished, but still he continues to steal. Even if such a person atones and is punished by the government, he will again commit theft as soon as he comes out of the jail. If punishment in jail is considered atonement, what is the benefit of such atonement? Thus Parikshit Maharaj inquired, Drishta Shru Abhya Yat Papam Jnanam Api Atmanohitam Karoti Bhuyo Vivasat Prayaschitta Ato Katham Kvachin Nivartate Bhadrat क्वचिक चरति तत्पुनः प्रश्चात् पार्थम प्रायश्चित्त अथोपार्थम मन्ये कुंजर शौचवत. He compared atonement to an elephant's bathing. The elephant may take a nice bath, a very nice bath in the river, but as soon as it comes onto the bank, he throws dirt all over his body. What then is the value of its bathing? Similarly, many spiritual practitioners chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and at the same time commit many forbidden things, thinking that the chanting will counteract their offenses. Of the 10 types of offenses one can commit while chanting the holy name of the Lord, this offense is called man namno balat yasya hi papa buddhi, committing sinful activities on the strength of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Similarly, certain Christians go to the church to confess their sins, thinking that confessing their sins before a priest and performing some penance will relieve them from the results of their weekly sins. As soon as Saturday is over and Sunday comes, they again begin their sinful activities, expecting to be forgiven the next Saturday. This kind of prayaschitta or atonement is condemned by Parikshit Maharaj, the most intelligent king of his time. Sukadeva Goswami, equally intelligent as befitting the spiritual master of the Maharaja Parikshit, answered the king and confirmed that his statement concerning atonement was correct. A sinful activity cannot be counteracted by a pious activity. Thus, real prayaschitta, atonement, is the awakening of our dormant Krishna consciousness. Real atonement involves coming to real knowledge, and for this, there is a standard process. When one follows a regulated, hygienic process, he does not fall sick. A human being is meant to be trained according to certain principles to revive his original knowledge. Such a methodical life is described as tapasya. One can be gradually elevated to the standard of real knowledge or Krishna consciousness by practicing austerity and celibacy, brahmacharya, by controlling the mind, by controlling the senses, and by giving up one's possessions in charity, by being avowedly truthful, by keeping clean, and by practicing yogasanas. However, if one is fortunate enough to get the association of a pure devotee, he can easily surpass all the practices for controlling the mind by the mystic yoga process, simply by following the regulative principles of Krishna consciousness, refraining from illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, and by engaging in the service of the Supreme Lord under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master. This easy process is being recommended by Srila Rupa Goswami.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, somebody else can start.
Mataji, may I?
Yes.
First, one must control his speaking power. Every one of us has this power of speech. As soon as we get an opportunity, we begin to speak. If we do not speak about Krishna consciousness, we speak about all sorts of nonsense. A toad in a field speaks by croaking. And similarly, everyone who has a tongue wants to speak, even if all he has to say is nonsense. The croaking of the toad, however, simply invites the snake, please come here and eat me. Nevertheless, although it is inviting death, the toad goes on croaking. The talking of materialistic men and impersonalist Mayavadi philosophers may be compared to the croaking of frogs. They are always speaking nonsense and thus inviting death to catch them. Controlling speech, however, does not mean self-imposed silence, the external process of mourner, as Mayavadi philosophers think. Silence may appear helpful for some time, but ultimately it proves a failure. The meaning of controlled speech conveyed by Srila Rupa Goswami advocates the positive process of Krishna Katha, engaging the speaking process in glorifying the Supreme Lord Krishna. The tongue can thus glorify the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. The preacher of Krishna Katha is always beyond the clutches of death. That this is the significance of controlling the urge to speak. The restlessness or fickleness of the mind, manovega, is controlled when one can fix his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. The Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22.31 says, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andakara Yahan Krishna Tahan Nahi Mayara Adhikara. Krishna is just like the sun and Maya is just like darkness. If the sun is present, there is no question of darkness. Similarly, if Krishna is present in the mind, there is no possibility of the mind being agitated by Maya's influence. The yogic process of negating all material thoughts will not help. To try to create a vacuum in the mind is artificial. The vacuum will not remain. However, if one always thinks of Krishna and how to serve Krishna is best, one's mind will naturally be controlled.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Somebody else? Yes.
Mataji, may I?
Yes.
Similarly, anger can be controlled. We cannot stop anger altogether, but if we simply become angry with those who blaspheme the Lord or the devotees of the Lord, we control our anger in Krishna consciousness. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry with the miscreant brothers Jagai and Madhai, who blasphemed and struck Nityananda Prabhu. In his Shikshashtaka, Lord Chaitanya wrote, Trinad api sunichena taror api sahishnuna. One should be humbler than the grass and more tolerant than the tree. One may then ask why the Lord exhibited his anger. The point is that one should be ready to tolerate all insults to one's own self. But when Krishna or his pure devotee is blasphemed, a genuine devotee becomes angry and acts like fire against the offenders. Krodha, anger, cannot be stopped, but it can be applied rightly. It was an anger that Hanuman set fire to Lanka, but he is worshipped as the greatest devotee of Lord Ramachandra. This means that he utilized his anger in the right way. Arjuna serves as another example. He was not willing to fight, but Krishna incited this anger. You must fight. To fight without anger is not possible. Anger is control, however, when utilized in the service of the Lord. As for the urges of the tongue, we all experience that the tongue wants to eat palatable dishes. Generally, we should not allow the tongue to eat according to its choice, but should control the tongue by supplying prasada. The devotee's attitude is that he will eat only when Krishna gives him prasada. That is the way to control the urge of the tongue. One should take prasada at scheduled times and should not eat in restaurants or sweet meat shops simply to satisfy the whims of the tongue or belly. If we stick to the principle of taking only prasada, the urges of the belly and tongue can be controlled. In a
Hare
similar
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Next.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
In a similar manner, the urges of the genitals, the sex impulse, can be controlled when not used unnecessarily. The genitals should be used to beget a Krishna conscious child. Otherwise, they should not be used. Krishna consciousness movement encourages marriage not for the satisfaction of the genitals, but for the begetting of Krishna consciousness children. As soon as the children are a little grown up, they are sent to our Gurukula school, where they are trained to become fully Krishna conscious devotees. Many such Krishna conscious children are required, and one who is capable of bringing forth Krishna consciousness offspring is allowed to utilize his genitals. When one is fully practiced in the method of Krishna conscious control, he can become qualified to be a bona fide spiritual master. In his Anuvritti explanation of Upadeshamrita, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura writes that our material identification creates three kinds of urges: the urge to speak, the urge or demand of the mind, and the demand of the body. When a living entity falls victim to these three types of urges, his life becomes inauspicious. One who practices resisting these demands or urges is called tapasvi, or one who practices austerities. By such tapasya, one can overcome victimization by the material energy, the eternal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we refer to the urge to speak, we refer to endless talking, such as
Yes. That is useless. We refer to useless talking.
Useless talking, such as that of the impersonal Mayavadi philosophers or of persons engaged in fruitive activities, technically called karma kanda, or of the materialistic people who simply want to enjoy life without restriction. All such talks or lectures are practical exhibitions of the urge to speak. Many people are talking nonsensically and writing volumes of useless books, and all this is the result of the urge to speak. To counteract this tendency, we have to divert our talking to the subject of Krishna. This is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Nayad vachis chitrapadam harayaso jagat pavitram pragnita karhichit yad tadvyasam tetam usanti manasa na yatra hamsa nirmanatyus usik kasyaha. Those words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly persons to be like unto place of pilgrimage for crows. Since the all perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, They do not derive any pleasure there. Tadvag Visrago Janatagaha Viplavo Yasmin Prati Slokam
Abhaddhavati api
Abhadyavatapi
namani anantasya
Namane Anantasya Yaso
yeshon kitaniyat
Yashong
kitaniyat
Nati Taniyat
shrinvanti gayanti
Shrinvanti Gayanti
Grinanti
Grinnanti
sadavaha.
On the other hand, that lecture, which is full of description of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord, is different creation, full of transcendental words directed toward bringing about revolution in the impious lives of these worlds. Misdirected civilization. Such transcendental lectures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, can I recite?
Yes.
The conclusion is that only when we talk about devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can refrain from useless, nonsensical talk. We should always endeavor to use our speaking power solely for the purpose of realizing Krishna consciousness. As for the agitations of flickering mind, they are divided into two divisions. The first called avirodha priti or unrestricted attachment, and the other is called virodha yukta krodha, anger arising from frustration. Adherence to philosophy of Mayavadis, belief is the fruitive results of the Karmavadis. And belief in plans based on materialistic desires are called avirodha priti. Nanis, karmis, and materialistic plan makers generally attract the attention of conditioned soul, but when the materialistics cannot fulfill their plans and when their devices are frustrated, they become angry. Frustration of material desires produce anger. Similarly, the demands of the body can be divided into three categories: the demands of tongue, the demands of belly, and genitals. One may observe that these three senses are physically situated in a straight line as far as the body is concerned, and that bodily demand begins with the tongue. If one can restrain the demands of tongue by limiting its activities to eating of prasada, the urges of the belly and the genitals can automatically be controlled. In this connection, Srila Bhakti Vinodha Thakura says, Sarira avidya jala jadindriya taha kala jve file vishaya sagare tara madhye jiha ati lobamaya sudharmati take chite katina samsara. Krishna bade dayamaye karibare jiheve jaya swaprasada anna dila baye से अनामृत खाओ राधा कृष्ण गुना गावो प्रेम दक्का chaitanya nitai. O Lord, this materialistic body is a lump of ignorance and the senses are a network of paths leading to death. Somehow or other, we have fallen in the ocean of materialistic senses, enjoyment, and all the sense. The tongue is the most voracious and uncontrollable. It is very difficult to conquer the tongue in this world. But you, dear Krishna, are very kind to us. You have sent us the nice prasada to help us conquer the tongue. Therefore, let us take this prasada to our full satisfaction and glory, or Lordship Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, and in love call that the help of Lord Chaitanya and Prabhu Nityananda. There are 6 kinds of rasas taste. If one is agitated by any one of them, he becomes controlled by the urges of the tongue. Some persons are attracted to eating meat, fish, crabs, eggs, and other things produced by semen and blood and eating in the form of dead bodies. Others are attracted by eating vegetable, creepers, spinach, or milk products, but all for the satisfaction of tongue's demand. Such eatings for sense gratification, including the use of extra quantities of spices like chili and tamarind, is to be given up by Krishna consciousness person. The use of pan, hiraki, betel nuts, various spices used in pan making, tobacco, LSD, marijuana, opium, liquor, coffee, and tea is indulged in to fulfill illicit demands. If we practice accepting only remnants of food offered to Krishna, it is possible to get free from Maya's victimization. Vegetables, grains, fruits, milk products, and water are proper foods to offer to Lord, as Lord Krishna himself prescribes. However, if one accepts prasada only because of its palatable taste and thus eats too much, he also falls prey to try to satisfy the demands of the tongue. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us to avoid very palatable dishes even while eating prasada. If we are if we offer palatable dishes to the deity of the intention of eating such nice food, we are involved in trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. If we accept the invitation of a rich man with the idea of receiving palatable food, we are also trying to satisfy the demands of tongue. In Chaitanya Charamitra Anantya 6.227, it stated, Jihavara lalase ye itu uti daya Sisnodara Parayana Krishna Nahi Paye. That person who runs here and there seeking to gratify his palate and who is always attached to the desires of his stomach and genital is unable to attain Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Next.
Mataji, one shloka is only so big.
Yeah. So actually in this first verse, the main focus is on controlling your tongue, the speech as well as the food intake, your stomach requirement, whatever the urges of the senses, and third is the utilization of the genitals. So a Krishna conscious person should take a control over these three. So first and foremost thing is the tongue, you should not be using it unnecessarily to talk. So suppose if we chant, that is the reason why if you see any of the Krishna devotee, most of the time they'll have a chanting beads bag and they'll be chanting, the most of the time when they spend in Krishna consciousness, if anybody's seen also, they'll wish them Hare Krishna. Then, that's how the sadhana goes, the person automatically, the whole consciousness, as we have discussed in our 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, whatever the food we eat, so will be our consciousness. At the same time, whatever we practice, so will be ingrained in our consciousness. So Krishna conscious devotee who is always engaged in eating the prasada which is being offered to the Lord, and always engaged in chanting the holy name of the Lord. And at the same time, even if most of them will be brahmacharis, but people who are married also, who wanted to beget a children, they'll use the genitals only to produce a child who can be developed in Krishna consciousness. That is the reason why when a certain age is attained, the child is put into the Gurukula and all. So all these things, as we have discussed in a previous detailed reading of Bhagavad Gita, all our activities should result in the Krishna consciousness. Is it or not? So for this, the first and foremost thing is these three. And we have to control the anger, and anger, different types of anger is been described and all. So all these things, once your senses are under control, how it will come under control? If you remember in Bhagavad Gita level 1 class, one chart I used to show, the five senses represent the five horses, and a person who is sitting, a charioteer, is the mind, and the row which is controlling is the intelligence, and behind will be a Jivatma. So once you surrender on to the Lord, all your senses will be under control. So here everything is been explained in detail regarding the same. Yeah.
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes.
Mataji, can you just go to the previous paragraph? Yeah, Mataji. Mataji, I did not understand. What do you mean by palatable foods?
Palatable means something which is good for your tongue.
Okay, Mataji. And Mataji, like why should we learn about 5 senses in Bhagavad Gita?
Because we wanted to serve Lord and become a Krishna conscious. And once our senses are surrendered onto the Lord, then automatically it becomes easy for us to do the sadhana. Is it or not? Without controlling the senses, is it possible to do it? No, na?
No, Mataji.
Yeah. So here he's saying whatever it is there, like he's giving an example of Arjuna, like who has used his anger to fight against the Kaurava. We have taken an example of Lord Hanuman, who has set fire to the Lanka just to teach them a lesson and all. Still, they are bhaktas, you know. So, channelizing your senses for the service of the Lord. That's what we are reading here. So, eat the food, but offer it to the Lord first, then you take it down. Then speak some, you speak to other people, but mind your words, and at the same time always speak which is beneficial for your development. So eat something like that which is beneficial to your body to improve your consciousness. And if you wanted to beget a child, produce somebody who is Krishna conscious devotee. Okay. Next, 2 or 3 paragraph we'll read. I think these 2 we'll read, then we'll start with the presentations.
Mataji, just a small question.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mataji, for the PPT, you have sent the Bhakti Shastri, the PDF, right, Mataji? In that,
Let me complete this, then we'll come to that PPT part. Okay.
no, Mataji. Like, is it for 1 question or 2 questions should we do?
I think you can go through the people who got prepared right now.
Mataji, when
Okay.
I prepared, so I prepared only
Yeah.
one. So just
Okay, no problem. No problem. Wait. Okay, somebody please volunteer to read these 2
Mataji,
paragraphs.
Mataji,
Yes.
may I read?
Yes.
Those who suffer from diseases of the stomach must be unable to control the urges of the belly. At least according to this analysis, when we desire to eat more than necessary, we automatically create many inconveniences in life. However, if we observe fasting days like Ekadashi and Janmashtami, we can restrain the demands of the belly. As far as the urges of the genitals are concerned, there are 2: proper and improper, or legal and illicit sex. When a man is properly mature, he can marry according to the rules and regulations of the Shastras and use his genitals for begetting nice children. That is legal and religious. Otherwise, he may adopt many artificial means to satisfy the demands of the genitals, and he may not use any restraint. When one indulges in illicit sex life as defined by the Shastras, either by thinking, planning, and about or actually having sexual intercourse, or by satisfying the genitals by artificial means, is caught in the clutches of Maya. These instructions apply not only to the householders but also to Tyagis, or those who are in the renounced order of life. In his book Prema Vivata, chapter 7 of Sri Jagadananda Pandita says, Vairagi bhai Gameya Katha na Shunibe Kana, Gameya Varta na Kahibe Yebe Milibe One, Wapne O na Kara bhi Sri Sambhashana, Grihe Sri Chanaya Bhai Asiyacha Vana, Yadi Chaha Pranaya Rakite Gaurangera Shane, Chota Haridashera Kotha Take Yena Muni, Hala na Koibe Ara Bhala na Paribe, Hridayate Radha Krishna Sharvada Shavibe. My dear brother, you are in the renounced order of life and you should not listen to to talk about ordinary or worldly things, nor should you talk about worldly things when you meet with others. Do not think of women even in your dreams. You have accepted the renounced order of life with the vow that forbids you to associate with women. If you wish to associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you must remember the incident of Chota Haridasa and how he was rejected by the Lord. Do not eat luxurious dishes or dress in the garments, but always remain humble and serve their lordships. Sri Sri Radha Krishna in your hearts of hearts. The, the conclusion is that one who can control these six items speech, mind, anger, tongue, a belly, and genitals is to be called a Swami or Goswami. Swami means master, and Goswami means master of the go or senses. When one accepts the renounced order of life, he automatically assumes the title of Swami. This does not mean that he is the master of the family, community, or society. He must be the master of his senses. Unless one is the master of his senses, he should not be called Goswami but Godasa, the servant of the senses. Following in the footsteps of the six Goswamis of Vrindavana, all Swamis and Goswamis should fully engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. As opposed to this, the Godasas engage in the service of the senses or in the service of the material world. They have no other engagement. Prahlada Maharaj has further described that the Godasa as Adanta Go, which refers to one whose senses are not controlled. And Adanta Go cannot become a servant of Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.30. Prahlada Maharaja has said, Mate na Krishna Paratha Sarvatoba Mitho Avipadyeta Griha Vartanam Adanta Gobhi Vistanam Tamishram Puna Puna Satyam Charvata Charanavanam. For those who have decided to continue their existence in this material world for the gratification of their senses, there is no chance of becoming Krishna conscious, not by personal endeavor, by instruction from others, or by joint conferences. They are dragged by the unbridled senses into the darkest region of ignorance, and thus they madly engage in what is called chewing the chew. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the six senses we have to control. Then you'll become a Goswami. Okay. That is a master of senses, not the Godasa. People who are servant to the senses are called as a Godasa. So a person who wanted to progress further in Krishna consciousness, they have to take control of all these things. And how it is possible? You have to be a Krishna consciousness. So your mind is always thinking about it. And the speech, yes, it will be as per the good consciousness. You will be speaking only good. And anger, we have taken example of Lord Hanuman and Arjuna. And tongue, yes, if we are taking the Krishna Prasada, only good things we'll speak, which is beneficial to the society. Belly, yes, not to satisfy the belly as per to satisfy the taste buds. So, but eat the prasada, which is beneficial to serve your sadhana. Genitals to beget a child who can be progressed in a Krishna consciousness. These are the main things which have been emphasized in this verse of Nectar of Instruction, first verse. So these are the first and foremost things. Like we always say, what are the control of sensors and how do you sadhana? So this is in bit detail and explaining everything about it. Okay, this is all for today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mata.
Hare Krishna. Shall we start with the presentations? Who is ready?
Mataji, I am ready. So only one question I made. Is that okay? Mataji, yeah, I made it.
Hmm?
I made the PPT. I have it.
Okay. Come on, start sharing.
Mataji, it's showing host disabled participants.
Okay, okay. Sai Gitika. Okay.
Yeah, Mataji, now I can share.
Put on your video also, ma, so that other
Yeah,
people
Mataji, 1 second. Yeah, 1 second.
spotlight you. Yes. What is your question?
Mataji, I took the first question. What are the 3 aspects of Srila Prabhupada mode or mission? That one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mataji, let me share it. I'll put it on the link.
Okay.
Okay, should I read it out?
Yes.
What are the 3 aspects of Srila Prabhupada?
Go to the presentation mode.
Mataji, I'm in presentation mode. Oh, okay, you
Ah.
can't see it. I'll share it again. Mataji, can you see it now?
Yes.
Yeah, Mataji. What are the 3 aspects of Srila Prabhupada mode of mission? First one, becoming humble. He has started the ISKCON movement worldwide, is so humble that he has given the credit to his guru. Nowadays, we see so many people who take the credit for the things which they haven't completed. Secondly, you also say that if even one Krishna devotee is benefited by this movement, the mission itself is a successful. Convinced to continue serving Lord Krishna to reach the highest stage in life in Krishna consciousness as per Bhagwat Gita, they should continue to practice and preach further without any adulteration. Compromising on the principles. Srila Prabhupada does not compromise in this aspect and insists on acquiring knowledge from a master in the discipline succession of any other motto where some famous personalities are involved. Chances of division is more. Mataji, done. That's it.
You're done? Okay, fine. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, I'm done. Yeah, I have done it.
Yes.
1 minute. Mataji, I have taken the 4th question from the open book that
Okay.
says why Arjuna was not willing to fight. That one.
Mataji, that one, what are the main reasons Arjuna did not want to fight?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just a minute.
You can put on your video, Vaishnavi, so that it is better. Other people can see you.
Yes, Mataji.
Start sharing.
Mataji, I've spotlighted my video.
Just a minute.
Yeah, Mataji, you can.
You can see it, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the question from Bhagwat Gita chapter 1. The question is, what were the reasons Arjuna not wanted to fight? So the 5 main reasons were that it was compassion for the kinsman. Then second was no enjoyment. Third was sinful reactions. Fourth was destruction of dynasties. And fifth was the indecisiveness. So the first point comes that compassion. So Krishna had tried his best to convince Duryodhana to not compel Pandavas for the war, but the evil son of the blind king Dhritarashtra was adamant. So Pandavas and Kauravas assembled at the Kurukshetra, both armies facing each other. Meanwhile, Arjuna was full of compassion, although he was a fearsome warrior and a kind-hearted person. So he did not wanted to fight. But Arjuna shuddered at the thought that he will fight for his to kill his own family members. He will be shooting arrows towards Bhishma, his great grandfather, and Dronacharya, his guru. These were the shlokas in which we come to know that Arjuna is sharing his feelings with Krishna. They say as, my body is trembling, my hair are standing on the end, my Gandiva is slipping from my hand and my skin is burning. This is the shloka 1.29. Then the second shloka is, I am not unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune, O Krishna, the killer of Keshi demon. And this is the shloka, chapter 1, verse 30. The second point is that there was no enjoyment after killing their own family members. The kingdom will be soaked in the blood of family members. The great grandfather Bhishma, Guru Drona, who was like their father, their uncles, brothers would be killed. Even the relatives, other relatives, as well as the kings from other dynasties would be killed. So Arjuna did not want to fight, even though he would have become victorious as Krishna was on his side. The third thing is committing sinful actions. Now, killing is a sinful activity, so it would incur sins, and sins lead to suffering. Though Duryodhana and his brothers were aggressors and they were impious, but Arjuna didn't want to kill them and become impious too. And this war was very ghastly, and enemy killing is also called a sin. So he told Krishna better not to fight. The fourth point is destruction of the dynasty, and which would cause protection towards women. And Varna Shankara would be born, and then no ancestor would be able to surpass the gates to Swarga, as no one would be there to pindan them. And these are the consequences of destruction of the dynasty from Shloka 39 to Shloka 43. With the destruction of dynasty, family traditions get destroyed. And when family tradition get destroyed, the family members become irreligion. And when irreligion increases, the women of the family get polluted. And women become polluted, so unwanted progenies are born. Unwanted progenies cause hellish life for the family and for those who are responsible for destroying the family traditions. These unwanted population will not follow religious traditions, because of which ancestors will fall down, as no one would be there to offer food and water. That is, Pindan will stop. And fifth one is indecisiveness, which comes in the chapter 2 and shloka 6, where he is confused and bewildered that why he should fight, and Krishna is telling him to fight as it's the dharma, and the body is not immortal, but the soul is. So he is killing the body, not the soul. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice.
Thank you, Mataji.
Next.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prasid.
Yeah, ready with the presentation, Mataji. 1 second.
Yes. I have to make you co-host, I think.
Yeah, Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji, was my video visible while I was talking?
Yes.
Yeah, because I thought it got stopped in between.
No.
Okay.
It was visible. Next. Yes, Prasid. You can put on your video, Prasid.
1 second, Mataji.
Yes. Oh, you're putting the thank you slide first, huh?
No, I'm ready. Yeah. So welcome to level 3 of Bhagavad Gita, that is Bhakti Shastri. So as it is said, I got the topic as per the order of Arjuna, Krishna accepting the position of charioteer, as per Shloka 1.22. Once we have surrendered unto the Lord and continue to be in Krishna consciousness, He will take us to utmost level of devotion. Krishna is totally devoted to his devotees and help them to the core when the need arises. It is the highest form of perfection of devotion. So, in the first chapter of 22nd shloka, Arjuna says that Yavadetan niriksheham yodhu kaman avastitan kairmaya sahayodhyavyam asmin rana samudyami. Translation: Arjuna said, "O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies, so that I may see those present there who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms." Purport: although Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend. He never fails his affection for his devotees, and thus he is addressed herein as infallible. In all circumstances, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rishikesha, the Lord of the total senses. The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotee. He takes greater pleasure in his pure devotees, assuming the advantageous position of ordering him than he does in being the giver of orders. Since he is the master of everyone, everyone is under his orders, and no one is above him or order him. But when he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure. Although he is the infallible master in all circumstances, as the pure devotee of the Lord, Arjuna had no desire to fight with his cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come onto the battlefield by the obstinacy of Duryodhana, who was never agreeable to any peaceful negotiation. Therefore, he was very anxious to see who is the leading persons present on the battlefield, where, although there was no question of a peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield, he wanted to see them again and to see how much they were bent upon demanding an unwanted war. So, I'm gonna say a story that is regarding to the same topic which I've chosen. This is the story of a bottle of medicine. There was a kind devotee of Lord Sri Krishna in Rajasthan. His name was Ramesh Chandra. He had a drug house. In his shop, there was a small picture of Lord Krishna in one corner. Every day when he opened his shop, after the daily cleaning, he would wash his hands and clean the picture of God and light incense, etc., with great reverence. He also had a son, Rakesh, who had completed his studies and now used to sit in the shop with him. He would see his father doing all this, and since he was an educated young man of the new age, he would explain to his father that there is nothing like God. It's all an illusion of the mind. The scriptures say that the sun revolves around the universe in its chariot, while science has proved that the earth revolves around the sun. Giving such new examples of science, every day he would try to prove that there is no God. The father would look at him with affection and just smile. He did not want to argue or discuss on the subject. As time passed, the father grew old. He had perhaps sensed that now his end was near. So one day he said to his son, "Son, whether you believe in God or not, it's enough for me that you are a hardworking, kind, and honest person. But will you listen to me this one thing and obey me?" The son said, "Sure, father, I will definitely agree." Father said, "Son, after my death, do clean this picture of God every day in the shop. And secondly, if you ever get struck in any trouble, then fold your hands and tell your problem to Sri Krishna. Just do this much, as I say." The son agreed. The father passed away after a few days, and time kept passing by. One day, it was raining heavily. Rakesh kept sitting in the shop the whole day, and customers were also very few. On the top of that, the electricity was also giving trouble. Suddenly, a boy who was dripping wet came running and said, "Brother, I need this medicine. My mother is very ill." The doctor said that if 4 spoons of this medicine are given immediately, then only mother can be saved. "Do you have this medicine?" Rakesh saw the prescription and immediately said, "Yes, I have it." The boy was very happy and soon left with the medicine. But what was this? Shortly after the boy left, as Rakesh looked at the counter, he broke into a sweat. A customer had returned a bottle of rat poison just a short while ago. Since the lights were out, Rakesh had left the bottle on the counter, thinking he would put it back in the right place. When the lights came on, would put it back in the right place when the lights came on. But this boy who had come to get the medicine had taken the bottle of rat poison instead of his medicine bottle. And the boy was not even literate. "Oh God," the words came out of Rakesh's mouth involuntarily. "What a disaster is this?" Then he remembered his father's words, and immediately, with folded hands, he started praying in front of Lord Krishna's picture with a heavy heart. "Oh Lord, Father always used to say that you exist. If you really are there, then please don't let this untoward event happen today. Don't let the mother drink poison from her son's hand. Lord, don't let her drink." Just then, a voice came from behind. "Brother, I slipped because of the mud. The medicine bottle also broke. Please give me another bottle." Looking at the picture with the adorable smile of God, tears started streaming down Rakesh's face. That day, a belief was awakened within him that there is someone who is running the universe. Some call him God, Some call him supreme, some call him omnipresent, and some the divine power. So, I end this story with a moral, that is, a prayer made from a heart full of devotion and love never goes ignored. Thank you all for
Patience hearing. Hare Krishna.
no, thank you for thank you all for seeing this presentation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Very
Krishna.
nice, Prasid. I love your presentation. Background images are very, very good. Okay, fine. Come on, next.
Mataji, there's some problem with my laptop. Could you just wait for 5 minutes?
Yeah, okay. Somebody else is ready. They can start. Meanwhile, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I have not yet made my PPT, Mataji.
Shramita, okay. Next week.
Yes, Mataji, sure.
Yeah, people who haven't presented, they can present next week.
I'll just present it now. Just give me 5 minutes.
Okay.
I've already made the
Mataji?
presentation.
Yeah, Mataji. Mataji, tomorrow do we have class?
Yes, tomorrow, text 2 of Nectar of Instruction.
Okay, Mataji. Because you were saying next week, right? To Shamista Mataji. So I was thinking you don't have class tomorrow.
No, if she is ready with the presentation for tomorrow, she can. Otherwise, next week.
Yes, Mataji.
It's up to her, Shramita. If you can make a presentation by tomorrow, see, not much, only few slides are okay. Like Sai
Yes,
Gita, she made only 3 slides. That is okay for me. Somebody made more slides. That is also okay for me.
No, Mataji, what happened was exams are there for me. So that's the reason I tried to make whatever I could.
Yeah, that's nice. It was nice introduction.
Mataji, just give me some time. There's some problem with my laptop. I don't know what's happening. Just give me some time, 5 minutes. I'll just present it.
Yeah, anybody know what do you say?
Yes, Mataji, what you were going to say?
Vaishnav Bhajan, they can do the Vaishnav Bhajan meanwhile.
1 minute, Mataji, I have to open the book. Vaishnava song book.
Anybody knows any song? I think you people have been hearing, no, for the long time. Tomorrow also, if people are ready with the presentations or done for today.
Mataji, Mataji, like in ISKCON Desire Tree, there is a book called Vaishnava Song Book. In that, we should read.
Yes.
Yeah, Mataji. I'll just try one. If it's wrong, please correct me, Mataji. Jaya Narsimha, Shri Narsimha, Jaya Jaya Narsimha Deva, Praladesha Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bringa. It's one shloka, Mataji. I just tried. Is it correct?
Yeah. Anybody else?
Mataji, can I try Madhurashtakam?
Yes.
Okay, I will start. Adharam madhuram, vadanam madhuram, nayanam madhuram, hasitam madhuram, hridayam madhuram, gamanam madhuram, madhuradhipaterakhilam madhuram, madhuradhipate akhilam madhuram. Vachanam madhuram, charitam madhuram, vasanam madhuram, valitam madhuram, charitam madhuram, ramitam madhuram, madhuradhipate akhilam madhuram, madhuradhipate akhilam madhuram. Venurmadhuro, Renurmadhura, Panirmadhuro, Padau Madhuram, Nrityam Madhuram, Sankhyan madhuram madhuradipate akhilam madhuram madhuradipate akhilam madhuram Geetam madhuram Pitam madhuram Bhuktam madhuram Suktam madhuram Rupam madhuram Tilakam madhuram Madhuradipate Akhilam madhuram Madhuradipate Akhilam madhuram Karanam madhuram Taranam madhuram Haranam madhuram Ramanam madhuram Vamitam madhuram Shamitam madhuram Madhuradipate Akhilam madhuram Madhuradipate Akhiram madhuram Guja madhura Mala madhura Yamuna madhura Vichi madhura Salilam madhuram Kamalam madhuram Madhuradipate Akhilam madhuram Madhuradipate Akhilam madhuram Gopi madhura Leela madhura Yuktam madhuram Muktam madhuram Drishtam madhuram Shishtam madhuram Madhuradipate Akhilam madhuram Madhuradipate Akhilam madhuram Gopa madhura Gavo madhura Yashtir madhura Srishtir madhura Dalitam madhuram Paritam madhuram Madhuradipate Akhilam madhuram Madhuradipate Akhilam madhuram Madhuradipate Akhilam madhuram Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Was
Very
it nice?
Yes, very nice, very nice.
Thank you, Mataji.
Practice more Vaishnava bhajan so that I think we can sing in these sessions before you go to the 4th level.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna,
Mataji,
Rachita.
just a small question.
Hmm.
For 3rd level, should we register Mataji? No.
Actually, I'll just get back to you. I didn't speak to Devika Mataji.
No, Mataji, the site is not still developed.
Yeah.
Actually, we can't see the quizzes also for the level 3.
Mataji, exactly, Mataji. Actually, what happened was, yes, my father asked me that you have completed level 2, so you should register for level 3, he said, Mataji. So I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, I'll get back to you. I need to speak to Devika Mataji. She was busy with her son exams and all, and I was busy with other things. So I'll just speak to her. Okay.
Mataji, from Feb till March end, it's exam season, Mataji. Nobody can do anything.
Yes, Mataji, even my brother's exams
Mataji,
are starting.
whomever I asked, whomever I asked, they're like, I'm having exams, I'm having exams, I'm having
It's
exams.
okay, it's okay. Let it be. But this is all seasonal, you know, not seasonal. This goes perennial, you know. 365 days we have a classes and all. Slowly we will start at our own pace. People will join. Okay.
Mataji,
Yes.
Mataji, I don't know why it is taking time, but my presentation is ready.
Okay, can you do it tomorrow then?
Tomorrow it's not possible. I have some work. That's why I wanted to do it today, but I don't know why my laptop is going very slow. I don't know why. I'm hitting little
Mataji,
steps.
Maybe you can do it. I see you log in only for the presentation. You can do it in the beginning or in the end also. Just join for the presentation if you have a work also.
Mataji,
know
just one thing, Mataji. If Racheta Mataji wants to present in this class, she can send it to her phone or tablet or something, Mataji, and she can present it from that device.
Yes, Mataji, you just share me. I'll share the screen.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just one
Yeah.
second.
Racheta
Actually, I
Mataji,
promise.
do one thing. You send it in the chat over here. There's a file button. You can send it there, then Vaishnavi Mataji can present.
Okay, I'll do that. Just give me 2 minutes.
Sure.
Sorry to keep you all waiting.
No problem, Mataji.
No, we are enjoying the Vaishnava bhajan.
Just a second. Just Hare Krishna. I hope I want to show my presentation. Yeah, here I am. Just a second. I'm sweating. I'm getting tense at the same time.
No, don't feel tense, we are all very known people.
Yes,
Some
absolutely.
unknown people or something important, then you should feel tense. But
No, then also you should not feel.
It's just coming. Just a minute. Just give me 2 minutes.
maybe
Okay, I'll just
Mataji,
once again, Mataji. Geetika Mataji, 1 second, 1 second. I'll just open my WhatsApp and through WhatsApp web I'll try 1 second. Hare
You are
Krishna.
sharing it to me, Mataji?
Yes, through WhatsApp
Yeah,
web
okay,
to my laptop. I'm trying to share it to you.
Yeah, so that I can also open my WhatsApp web feed.
Yes, just Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Mataji, I just wanted to ask you, during class, wherever you go, if you're going to your native, that time do you take your Japamala, Mataji?
I have one Japmala at home, one at my hospital, and the counter in my bag,
So you carry it everywhere you go, Mataji?
Japmala is no. Japmala, one at home, one at my workplace. Okay. I have a counter.
Okay. That you said, Mataji, that small counter you said, Mataji, in one class. I don't remember which class, but you said it to us in the class.
It will cost you some 100 or so, but it's very useful tool, that you can hold it inside your fist and you can start telling the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So that works. But somehow I love doing the beats japa, okay, rather than the counter.
Mataji, I'm trying to make some time, when I sit for after my bath, I do one round of Japamala and then only start my day, Mataji.
Nice, but you can, the moment you get up from the bed, you can just wash your hands and feet and face, and you can sit and do the japa also.
Yeah,
And you
Mataji.
can do more.
What happened was I wake up early, Mataji, and I have to study for the exam, Mataji.
Yeah. The moment you get up, fresh yourself, sit and do at least 4 rounds of japa, then you start your day.
Okay, Mataji.
Don't wait for see, you can do like that. It's better if you take bath and do it, but you should be clean enough to sit and do the japa.
That's why I bath and do it, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. You're not able to send, Racheta?
That is a problem. So should I attach to mail or should I send it by mail?
You can just forward it in the WhatsApp, or you can put it in the chat box also.
Mataji,
Okay.
that's what I said in Zoom chat. She can keep it.
No, I'm not being able to open the Zoom link. So Vaishnav Mataji, just I'll just send it.
Mataji, I'm saying that the chat of the meeting now, like this meeting.
Okay. No, actually, I want to send it by mail. So Vaishnav Mataji, could somebody send me
Yeah,
the
1 minute. I'm sending you my mail.
Okay. chat box, Mataji.
Okay, okay, yeah. I was sending you by the WhatsApp, but I'll send it here. Okay. Just a minute.
You can send it to this mail, Mataji. I'll send it up. Like,
Okay. Okay.
Yes, Mataji, I sent you the mail.
Okay. My Gmail is opening, Mataji. My
Okay.
Gmail is opening. My Gmail is opening. Wait. One minute.
Mataji, if you have time, you restart your computer. Maybe.
No, it's okay, Mataji. I'll do it.
No, Mataji, after the class, I meant.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'll
you
do.
can update it.
Because
Yes,
it becomes
Mataji.
slow when you don't update it.
Yes, Mataji. Yes. Just give me some time. Sorry to keep all of you waiting. I don't know why you're taking so much of time.
No
I think
issues,
some network
Mataji. We
issue.
are just enjoying.
Yeah. Can we do it next time?
No, yes.
Yeah, I think when
Okay.
it's taking time, we have wasted
No. हो गया.
10 minutes.
Now we are done. I'm done. Okay.
You sent it?
Yes, I'm sending it. 1 second. I'm sending to Vaishnavi Mataji. I hope she gets my mail.
Okay.
Mataji, I've sent it to you.
Yeah,
Did you
1
get my
minute.
mail?
No, still not visible.
No,
Please
so I've
check
sent
the
you a
page,
mail.
Mataji, once.
Okay, I'll send it.
Yeah, I got it. Just a minute,
Okay.
I'll join with my phone and share it.
Mataji, just wanted to ask you, in chapter 3, there are 43 shlokas, right? Okay, Mataji.
Vaishnavi Mataji?
Yeah, 1 minute, Mataji.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just share my PPT to your screen.
Yeah, 1 minute. Actually, my emails are on my phone, right? So I'm joining with my phone.
Okay. Take your time, Mataji.
Yeah. Mataji, can you make me the co-host on the other device? Yeah, okay. 1 minute.
Have.
1 minute.
Did you get my PPT?
Yeah, I got your PPT, but I mistakenly just came out of the meeting. I'm sorry for the delay.
Mataji, I'll try to join my laptop. Just a minute. I'm connecting. I've connected. Yes, I've connected. Now make me the co-host.
No, just a minute. I started the screen share.
Oh, you have started? Okay, no problem. Mataji,
Yeah.
did you get my PPT?
Yes, I got your PPT. Just 1 minute. I'm not able to share the screen.
Vaishnavi Mataji, should I start screen sharing?
Yeah, you do it.
Host has disabled participant screen sharing. Mataji, please make me the co-host.
Can share now.
Okay. Hare Krishna, can all of you see my screen?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, one and all present here. So I've taken this question is, what was the Duryodhana's duplicity with Bhishma and Dronacharya? This is taken from the open book essay for question number 1. This is the verse. The answer is given in verse 1.3. Pashyantam Panduputranam Acharya Mahitam Chamum Vyudham Drupada Putrena Swastisyena Dhimata. So, O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by an intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. So Duryodhana wanted to point out the defects of Guru Dronacharya, who was a great Brahmana and a commander-in-chief. Excuse me. So Dronacharya had a political rift with King Drupada, who was the father of Draupadi and who Draupadi is Arjuna's wife. As a result of the quarrel, Drupada performed a great sacrifice by which he received the benediction of having a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Guru Dronacharya did not hesitate to impart this knowledge to Dushtadumna, King Drupada's son. This could lead to the Kaurava's defeat if he was lenient towards the Pandava side. So where Dushadumna had taken the side of the Pandavas and it was arranged for the military flanks. After having learned the art from Dronacharya, Duryodhana uh, had pointed out the mistake of Dronacharya so that he might be alert and uncompromising in the fighting. Duryodhana is pointing out the mistakes of his guru Dronacharya so that he should not be partial towards the Pandavas. By this, he wanted to point out also that he should not be lenient in the battle against the Pandavas, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate students. Arjuna, especially, was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Duryodhana warned by such leniency in the fight could lead to the Kauravas' defeat. Once again. One second. I'll just try to share the screen again. Uh, okay. Yes, excuse me. So this is the first. This is so the what is so this was the third verse of chapter 1. This is the first verse of the Bhagavad Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Dhritarashtra Vacha Dharmashetra Kurukshetra Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamaka Pandava Chaiva Kim Akurva Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? So the word Dharmashetra is a place of
Hare Krishna, I'm not able to see the screen.
Okay, but
Yeah, is it with me or with
no,
anybody?
no,
Anybody is able to see the screen?
Mataji, I am able to see the screen, but it shows these downloads and all.
Yeah.
okay. Can you?
I guess you minimize the presentation, Mataji.
Yes.
I guess you minimize the presentation.
Okay, I'll maximize it again. Okay. From the beginning, I'll show. Can everybody see?
No, Mataji.
No.
Okay, I'll send it. I'll send it again. Okay. Once again.
Okay.
Okay. Can anybody see now the presentation?
No.
But why?
Okay, fine. Then Mataji, some technical glitches, I think.
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I'll try to open it if just so overall so this I'll just summarize it. So Duryodhana was warning Duryodhana was warning Guru Dronacharya because of his leniency towards the Pandavas because they were his beloved students and because Drupada's son Drishadumna had had been taught the secrets of military by a guru by him. So Duryodhana then wanted the Guru Dronacharya to be lenient towards the Pandavas, so that will lead to the victory. And Dhritarashtra was very frightened and scared because the war had taken place in the field of the religious field of Kurukshetra, where Lord Krishna was there, who is the supreme personality of Godhead. So he wanted, so when Krishna is on the side of the Pandava, that's also a sign of victory. And so that was my presentation all about.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So when should I show the presentation again?
You tomorrow you're not going to come, you said, no? So next time, whenever you're appearing in the class, you can show
I'll just show you the presentation for the last time. I won't explain it much, just show you the presentation. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is my slide. Vaishnavi Mataji, everybody can see my screen? Hello. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So this is the question. What was Duryodhana's duplicity with Bhishma and Guru Dronacharya? This is the first shloka, as I told you. The first shloka. So Dhritarashtra is very skeptical on about the war which is happening on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So we can read this. So where the Supreme Lord is present on the side of Arjuna, so victory is sure about the victory is there. So Dhritarashtra was scared about the influence of the holy place on the outcome of the battle. As in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants are taken out, so it is expected from the beginning of these topics that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, where the father of religion Sri Krishna was present, the unwanted plants like Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana and others would be wiped out, and thoroughly the religious people headed by Yudhishthira would be established by the Lord.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, I think we can stop for today.
You can just see the presentation.
Yes. We are able to see. Actually, make it very short and sweet, not more than, I think,
10 slides.
20 minutes, I think we have waiting for your presentation. I think more than half an hour has
Yes,
been
so
spent
sorry.
on this.
So the
please
last shloka
try
is
to,
based.
please try to organize more for the next time, so that other people time is also not being wasted in
Yes.
waiting. Yeah, please
So
take
sorry.
care of all those things.
Yes. So
Yeah.
this is my last slide and this is the end of it.
Yeah.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
How did you like my presentation, Mataji?
It was nice, but we could not take it at a time, there were so many glitches.
Yes.
Yeah, please to try to, if you're not able to do it, share it to me or somebody else, so that at least they'll do the presentation once. Please take care of the technical aspect.
Yes, Mataji. I'm very sorry about that, but thank you for your patience.
Yeah, okay. We'll conclude with Narsimharti, please. Anybody? Hare Krishna. Okay. We'll only say
Mataji, may I?
yes.
Namaste Narsinghaya Pralatnadadayayini Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha Shilatankanakalaye Yato Nasingha Parato Nasingha Nasingha One second.
Yato yami.
Yato yami tato one second.
Yato yami tato narsimha. Bahe narsimha hridaye narsimha. Narasimha madim sharanam prapatihe. Tava kara kamala vare. Adbhuta shringam. Dalita hiranyakashipu. Tanulingam
Keshavadeta Naraharirupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jayo Narasimhadev Jayo Narasimhadev Jayo Narasimhadev Jayo Narasimhadev Jayo Prahlad Narasimha Jayo Prahlad Narasimha Jayo Prahlad Narasimha Jayo Prahlad Narasimha Narasimha Bhagwan ki Jai.
Yeah. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you all participants for active participation. See you all tomorrow at 8 p.m. Hare Krishna, one and all.
Hare Krishna Mataji.